This is Mark Whitten.
This is Adam MacArthur.
This is Ann Yatko.
This is Molly Chung.
Hey everybody, this is Michael Yurchak.
This is Daquan Wilshire.
This is Lexi Nieto.
This is Rico Fajardo, and you're watching.
And you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast. Set your heart ablaze.
All right, so this is episode 169 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky. Thank you for tuning in. This week's guests, I have returning guests Chin and Josh back on the show to talk about the long overdue Bullet Train review. The movie dropped about over a year ago already, so
Yeah,
we're finally now talking about it.
I just checked. I was like, was it this year? Was it last year? What was it? It was like July of last year.
Yeah, so I know that with this movie, like I believe they delayed it because of COVID when it initially released. Because I know it was supposed to release earlier, and then they pushed it. But then I was excited for this movie just based off the trailer. I think it's because a lot of the superhero movies were coming out during that time, and I wanted to see something new or refreshing, and this cast here is just so stacked with like good actors.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your guys' first impressions before we like dive deep into the movie?
So I actually went to go see this in theaters because I was pretty excited about it, So I wanted to go see it. So I went to go see it, and I'm like, no expectations, not expecting much. People say it's good, okay, whatever. And so I went in there pretty much blind, not knowing what it was about, and it turned out great. Story's great. Characters are actually the best part of the movie, I think. It beats out the story, and everything. The setting on the bullet train, that's pretty cool, having it set on one location. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
And you, Josh?
So I actually saw it in theaters as well, and then I watched it just recently, yesterday, actually, just to kind of get a refresher of things. And I mean, I thought it was going to be a generic action movie. I figured, okay, Brad Pitt, he hasn't. I mean, he's Brad Pitt, right? He's always going to be a big time celebrity, but I don't know. He's not really my reason to go see a movie, But pleasantly surprised. It was definitely in like my top 3 of all of 2022 in terms of movies.
Yes, same for me. Like it was a toss up between this movie and the Batman for me for 2022. I mean, I can't say the Batman because I have a big bias towards Batman. So, like anything Batman, I'm a big fan of.
Hey, I'll tell you, I'm a huge Batman fan too, but for some reason, that one didn't do it for me, man. It did not.
We will talk about that later.
Yeah,
yeah, that's episode 170.
Yeah.
No, but Bullet Train was great because like Chin said, I watched it without like too much expectation. I just knew about the cast because I saw like Hiroyuki Sanada in there. There was Brad Pitt, Aaron Taylor Johnson. So it was like a lot of good actors in there. I wasn't expecting much. I thought it was going to be more of a mystery movie versus. I mean, it was sort of, but it had a lot more action to it. And then with the director being someone who worked on John Wick and Deadpool and stuff like that, so I knew that the action sequences were going to be really, really good. I guess just the movie itself, like the story was good, and like the setting was good too. But was there moments in this movie that you guys like thought stood out, or you guys liked more? Chin, we'll start with you.
I think let me see, the final action scenes were great. That was awesome. But the cameos, that's what I loved about the movie. 2 in specific, one for just a quick heartbeat. I mean, we can spoil it, right? This is a spoiler podcast. So Ryan Reynolds, that was great. And Channing Tatum, totally thought, this is just a huge surprise. Those were great cameos. The action scenes were really, really good. And I think Brad Pitt did awesome in that one.
He did. Surprisingly for me, the whole lemon and tangerine dynamic was like everything for me. I wasn't expecting to like be so engrossed in his philosophy using Thomas the Tank Engine, not the train engine. We can't get that wrong. But just that whole thing, like I wanted to just watch a spinoff with just those two. Too bad we can't, but still, they were definitely very exciting to watch throughout the whole thing.
You can do a prequel. You can do a
That's
prequel
true.
if you want.
That's
I
true.
think if they really wanted to, this Bullet Train could branch off into a lot of spin-offs.
That's fair.
Even Bad Bunny, you can have him, and everything. There's so much you can do with it. Obviously, I hate to say it, but a sequel is in play. They should definitely make a sequel for sure. Because it'd be just Brad Pitt on a different situation and going through the same stuff. That would be pretty awesome. But they wouldn't be able to rehash the same thing. They'd have to come up with some new, cool, divisive storyline.
It'll be Bullet Plane.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Josh, you brought a great point. Tangerine and Lemon, those two were my favorites in the movie.
Yes.
And I think honestly, Aaron Taylor Johnson's performance was what stood out to me the most. I thought he did phenomenal. Just playing this very this assassin who's on the job, and how he's always bickering with or not Lemon, but Tangerine's always bickering with Lemon, and then with the case, and where's the case? Go get the case, and just a lot of back and forth, and even with some of the actors that are just in there for momentarily, it was like Chin said, it was great seeing some cameos here and there, and a lot of some actors stood out as well. But I think for me, some of my favorite moments aside from Lemon and Tangerine was also seeing the story unfold at the end with Hiroyuki Sanada and his son. And then involving Michael Shannon being the White Death at the end. I thought that twist was really cool, that they brought everything full circle.
Oh yeah, no, I love his signature, rolling the revolver over his shoulder, and doing Russian roulette before he takes him out. So good.
Yeah, that was really good, and that's what made the story so good. It turned from it was a generic kind of story, but then how it all ended with everyone supposed to be on that train except Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Everyone except for Brad Pitt was supposed to be on that train. That was what was great, awesome. There's some sort of story to this. Otherwise, if they didn't have that twist at the end, it'd be just this, just random killers on a bullet train, and just make any sense. So, and so I think that really helped with the story and with the film.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say what I didn't like about this movie, because a lot of the stuff was just really comical. Again, with great action scenes, and just a lot of things just played out really well with the writing. But did you guys know that this was based off a book? I didn't even know this was based off a book. This movie.
No,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't look into it.
Was it a book or a graphic novel that was based off of?
One or the other, but it was there was some form of writing before this became a movie. I only saw it in the credits, and then I looked it up on Wikipedia just to see what it was, but I didn't read all of it, read through it all. I know they changed the title and stuff like that just because it's a movie. No, but it's hard to say what I didn't like. I mean, there were some performances that I was surprised by, like Bad Bunny. I didn't even know who he was at this time, before finding out that he was just this big music artist. And even his scene was he did pretty good too, just to have a quick fight scene with Brad Pitt just to get killed at the end by his own knife. So I thought that was good. Was there any performances in this movie that you guys thought that really stood out to you guys?
Tangerine and Lemon, those two were great. I mean, you could literally watch them banter and Brad Pitt. You can have all three of them banter for half an hour and we'll be okay. If you put them in a Quentin Tarantino movie, man, the dialogue would be amazing if they just, we're just sitting there and just talk. One of the weird twist was the son. They got a pretty big name for him, and then all of a sudden, they nixed him in the first 15 minutes. It was oh, okay, that was kind of a weird thing for them to do.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was a solid cast. Everyone did a great job acting, so I don't think I could nitpick anybody in the group.
No. I mean, spoiled, privileged White Death, his daughter.
Joey King,
yeah. She's just good at playing those roles, though. I never like her in anything she's in. She's always causing some shit. I don't know if you've seen her in that movie called The Lie. Oh god, that one's a tough one to watch. It's just it's basically like these two girls, they like leave home or something, and the girl, she's like, "Oh, my friend is, I think she's dead," or something like that, and their parents basically try to cover up her death because they're afraid her daughter is going to go to prison because she accidentally pushed her off a bridge, essentially. And she's super manipulative.
I saw that movie too, and it was.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it was pretty. It was a good movie. It was a good
Yeah.
movie, and you know, it was one of those situations where you hated the main character. You know, even though she was the protagonist, you just didn't. You know, nope, just.
Yeah, she's.
You know,
I highly recommend that one, Ricky. You're going to be so mad by the end of it, and especially the very end of it. You're going to be like, "Oh my god! Like, really? This is you know, this all happened." And so, I won't spoil anything for that one, but highly recommend that one.
Yeah, I agree with Josh there.
Yeah, I think it's on Hulu, so you can check it there.
No, Joey King was a great point you brought up because she did. Again, she's one of those actors that I don't really like either. Like I see her, she's
but that's her thing, right? She's good at it, you know.
But she did really well in this movie too for Bullet Train, and I love the scene where Lemon like confronts her and he's like, well, you know, you got this act going on, and pretty much breaks down her character and like you're Diesel, you know, and right before he gets her, he gets caught off guard with the drugs that was in the water. So that was a pretty good scene too.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. That was good. You know, it's funny too. I was looking into all the characters and stuff at one point. I forgot them all now, but I was trying to see which character I would be in the Thomas the Tank Engine lore. You know, and I forgot, to be honest with you. I'd have to look at it again, but you know, not a Diesel. That's all I can tell.
That's all it is.
Yeah, so you know, with this movie, man, again, there's just a lot that went on. You know, there's a lot of storylines going on, and once they diverged together, it was a great overall story. You know, I think one of my favorite moments in this movie again was just seeing how lost Brad Pitt was, and then like he's like talking about like how he has this bad luck and everything that happens to him. Like, why is this happening to me? But he always gets saved anyway. And then just to find out at the end, like where he took Ryan Reynolds' job, and he was just completely confused. Like it's like Carver did this. Like I hate Carver. Like why am I doing this?
Yeah, I don't know if it's fact, but I do believe the reason why Ryan Reynolds is in there is because Brad Pitt was in Deadpool 2. So it's one of those like, hey, I was there for you. You owe me for this one. Just make a quick cameo. And
yeah.
Well, some people said that was the same case with like Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum because they were in those movie together.
Yeah, the what is it called? Yeah, where Brad Pitt was the agent.
So like they were all together in that. Surprisingly enough, I can't believe I didn't even notice that was Sandra Bullock's voice being the handler.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So again, when she came out, I was like, "Oh, really?" Like it hit me like a brick wall. I'm like, it's like, wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah,
like, I've seen a lot of Sandra Bullock movies. I should have had known that was her voice, but you know, she did that really well, just being the handler over the phone and trying to like calm down Brad Pitt. What you guys think of like you know, these assassins? Like, was there I guess, you know, we talked about Lemon and Tangerine, but was there any other of the assassins in this movie that you guys also liked as well? Like for me, I thought the Hornet, Zazie Beetz, I thought she was pretty good as well.
Yeah. Her death scene was brutal. Like it was rough. I thought it was hilarious. You know, so that was a really good scene. Bad Bunny was fine. You know, I didn't think too much of it. I mean, he was in there for just a quick second, anyways. You know, he was literally maybe 10 minutes tops in the movie. But you know, I just think everybody just did a great job. You know, they're all like got their special little thing about it, and you know, really Tangerine and Lemon may be the best, you know, assassins in that movie. But everyone had their moments. That's what was great about that movie.
100%.
The snake scene was pretty funny. Just seeing like how clever Brad Pitt's character was, like how he after he got the syringe in him. Then he knew she had an antidote, so he like waited for the Hornet to use it, and then like he uses it on himself, and then she pretty much how she dies, like the blood comes out of her eyes, and like she's like crawling on the floor. He's trying to comfort her, like, do you need like a towel? Do you need water? Like he's just talking down to her while she's dying.
Like, why wouldn't you bring two? Why didn't you bring two?
Yeah.
I wasn't too familiar with the actor who played the son, or the father of the son who got pushed off the building. I wasn't too familiar with him. He was from, I think he's from that show Warrior, right, on HBO.
Yeah. He snagged that. So I mean, he's doing good. I think he's gonna start creating a name for himself.
I was hoping he'd have more like scenes though. Like I wanted to see him like do more fighting scenes. Just that he ended up being a hostage the whole time up until the end.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of Michael Shannon's performance, being the White Death?
That was a surprise to me. I didn't expect Michael Shannon to show up, and he did really good in that one. It was just a small role. I would consider it more just the same as a cameo, showing up in the last like 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes or something like that. But yeah, he did good. I like that nice little twist. I was wondering who the White Death was going to be, and turns out him. I love Michael Shannon, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, his accent was weird a little bit at times, but he was good.
Yeah, I do like that, like the backstory with like how Hiroyuki Sanada's character, how they talk about like how the White Death infiltrated the Yakuza gang, and it turns out that Hiroyuki Sanada's character was a part of that gang too. I really like that twist where he tells Brad Pitt like, this is fate. And I waited all this time just to finally get him, and now this is my chance. And so to see him do that too, like to finally get his moment of justice against Michael Shannon, I thought that was great. And I wasn't expecting them to show like that kind of a like brutal scene where his sword went through Michael Shannon's arm like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that was really pretty crazy to see. And then like when the train flies off the rails and everyone just crashes into that small town. Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
yeah.
Did you guys I mean, like with the action sequences though, were you guys expecting it to be as well as it was in this movie?
I mean, for me, I thought it was just going to be a generic movie. I didn't think there was going to be anything as exciting as passionate as it was. I didn't expect all these origin stories and for them to actually work out pretty well for what they were. And no, I mean, it was just, I was engrossed. Like I didn't need to laugh every second. I didn't need to be entertained every second. I just was already interested because of, this ensemble that was on screen. So for me, yeah, the whole thing was a surprise. And I think that's why it just got monumentally better. Like I love it when there's a film I have no high expectations for, and then they prove me wrong completely. So it's a great feeling.
Yeah, there was one point in this movie where like after rewatching it again and just catching like a lot of the foreshadowing, like where Lemon and Tangerine talk about like the bulletproof vest and how Lemon's like, well, I wear it just in case, but something he says something about like getting shot in the neck, and that's kind of sad how that's how Tangerine died, getting shot in the neck.
Oh yeah.
So like I thought that was a really like cool part in the writing aspect of it, just seeing like how everything plays out still, like every like if you catch on to the dialogue in this movie, like it all plays out in this movie in one way or another, and like just seeing how even like seeing how the water bottle, like they gave you the water bottle point of view and how it traveled on the bullet train. I thought that was good too. Honestly, I feel like we're running through this pretty quickly.
Yeah,
well, it's only like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where there's not really a lot of bad things to go about it.
No.
Maybe the CGI was a little shoddy at the end of it all, but it wasn't flash shoddy, okay?
Yeah. Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I still think it did really great. I love that story, and I'm totally down for a sequel. I know, it destroys that uniqueness of Bullet Train, but I want to see more. I want to see Brad Pitt put in that different situation.
I agree.
If you want to start your own podcast like Spoiler Force, then sign up with Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout has helped hundreds of thousands of users like me to begin their podcasting journey. With easy-to-use tools, you can effectively get your podcast into different platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and more. You can view your stats, create audio clips, and even have your own podcasting website. Buzzsprout offers ideas, tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you improve your podcast. Follow the link below, and once you sign up, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card. This will let Buzzsprout know that I sent you and will also support Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want a simpler way to record both video and audio for your podcast, then sign up with StreamYard. StreamYard is the perfect program to create podcasts, host live streams, and even do video calls. There are many tools that can help you create and design your own personal studio. You can screen share, read live comments, and stream to different destinations like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also download your video and audio once you're done with your recording session. Follow the link below, and once you sign up with the basic or pro plan, you'll earn a $10 credit to use for StreamYard. Happy podcasting. Yeah, I think they are in talks, or they're planning for a sequel already. Though I don't know. For me, like I would prefer that this. I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, even if they do it, I would prefer it just to be a standalone film, just because it's so unique. Like it's very hard to see like movies come out like this and be very unique in its own way. And then because again, during this time right now of movies, it's always like multiverse or superheroes or rehashings of older movies. So it's hard to kind of like I would like just it'd be cool to see a sequel, but I don't want it to ruin the quality of what this brand is already.
That's true, but when you think about it, for these types of movies, it's like the Knives Out. It's like Hercule Poirot, where only one character is the only returning character. So you don't need to watch the other ones, and this is him doing a totally new mission. You're introducing, 8 or 9 new characters and a new story and synopsis. So I think that'll work out because it's a sequel, but it's still a standalone movie. So you don't need to watch them both, to kind of
I agree.
Get it. So I think that would work out. And that's a really good way to go about it. But as long as they don't do like a complete sequel where everyone that didn't die returns back for a sequel or something like that. But I think they can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, how would you guys? I guess how would you guys want this next sequel to be then? Like, would you guys want it to still be like in the same setting where it's just one particular setting the whole movie, or like going back and forth? Yeah, because I think it's hard to beat like the whole train sequence because like you got the different cars on the train, and are they going to be on a bus or something next?
No, honestly, I was just thinking about like what could the sequel be while we were talking and chatting, and it'd be a cabin in like the mountains, a giant resort or something like that, snowed in or something like that, and that's where it all happens. But it's got to just happen at one primary location. I think that's the love of it all, for the bullet train. That's the concept. You can't be traveling 3 different locations or something like that. But if they're stuck at a ski resort or something like that, I think that could work. I think that'd be a good one. I mean, you can't put them on a plane, you can't put them on a train. I mean, you already did the train. You can't put them on a bus or a car because it's not enough space or room for them to do anything like that. So I think you'd have to get a secluded building of some sort and then kind of go from there.
I think an airport terminal or a train station.
Okay, yeah.
You do something like that, that'd be pretty interesting because I haven't really seen a lot of action movies that just stay in a central location like that where people are just waiting around or things like that. Their flight could have been delayed and it turns out that everybody in the waiting area is an assassin. And so you could have stuff like that. One person's going to go get snacks at the bar. There's a fight on the escalators. There's a lot you could do, I think, with something like that.
Are there any, I guess, actors off the top of your guys' head that you guys would like to see in a potential sequel?
Ooh, for some reason, Vince Vaughn pops up in the top of my head. I think he'd be a really good addition in there.
Okay.
Vince
Vaughn.
Yeah.
I mean, assassin types. I don't know. You got to throw in Liam Neeson somewhere.
Yeah.
In that.
He would be a good cameo.
Yeah, he'd be a great cameo.
Yeah.
I mean,
like something like him or
Margot Robbie. I think with the way the success of Bullet Train, I think they'd be able to grab a lot of A-list people to be in the second movie. I think that would be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But Margot Robbie, Adam Driver, I think Adam Driver would do great.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they could pop in Ryan Reynolds for like an actual role.
Oh, I think so. I think 100%. He shows up to help out or whatever.
Yeah,
It is. Or maybe
yeah,
he takes
yeah.
Carver's job again. I don't know. Whatever it is. Bring back Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but I think those they could snag just about anybody that they want for this next Bullet Train. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I was not expecting us to run through this so quickly, man. Like
Hey, you got your short episode. That's short and sweet. It's right to the point.
Yeah. I honestly thought like the topics I had would run through. We would go through it like a little bit longer. Now just like it's been a while since I've been like stumped on my podcast where I'm like, oh man, we're just really running through this.
No, I mean, thinking about it, if you're thinking like sequel wise, I think that's a really good run. You'd be able to snag a whole bunch of people for that. Grab another celebrity, another singer or something like that. Kanye would be crazy if you tossed him in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess.
Just to kind of get the name drop in there, but yeah, no, I Bullet Train's great. I definitely last year it was definitely top 5 for sure for me, because it was such a surprise.
Yeah,
I think that's what made it so what made it so unique was just like because it was just so different in terms of action drama, and there's like comedy in there, and again like this stacked cast, like even though like the majority of the cast wasn't there in the whole movie, like there's a lot of big names in here which drew a lot of attention, and then like even like the simplicity of the trailer, like how they were just the movie trailers, how simple it was. They didn't show too much, or not like a lot of the movie trailers now where they're like explaining the whole movie within 3 minutes,
right?
So, yeah. So this one definitely caught a lot of people's eyes for sure. But I think, man, I just think that this was a really good and fun movie. Like even rewatching this again, like it wasn't like where I'm just sitting and like knowing this stuff's happening. Like I'm actually enjoying it, rewatching it again, and just like seeing the story play out. And I love picking at things where I don't notice as well when I'm rewatching movies like this. And I like that, where it still keeps the audience member or like the viewer attentive to like just small details in this movie.
Yeah. Like you said, this is definitely one you can watch over and over and pick up subtle things every single time. And that's when you know that the director's really giving it his all and his love, because he's like, all right, let's put little things in here. Let's not forget this. Did you need to do the water bottle scene? No, you didn't. But you know what? He wanted to do it, and it was like, okay, that was great. It's
worth it.
It was totally worth it because it's so funny, and it's like, oh man, the water bottle becomes its own character in the movie as well. So that was that was well done. I really like that.
I mean, as writers and directors yourselves, was there anything that you guys saw like in that perspective that caught your guys' eye?
I know. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's I mean, it's obviously the storytelling mechanic. I like it when action movies have like the equivalent of like a boss battle in their films, and whether that's like there's different characters, right? So Brad Pitt's facing off with all these different assassins, and to me these are just like different boss battles. So anything that's like really character driven, with a great story arc like that, I'm definitely invested in. I want to learn more about these people, and but I don't want it to be so like I can't stand Game of Thrones. I'm one of the few people. It is what it is, and it's because like we stay on way too many people for way too long, where something like this is great because it's like, we learn their story for a few minutes or so or whatever, and they're dead. And it's like, okay, that sucks. But who are we up against now? And it keeps amping up, and it keeps making, you're getting juicier, grittier, crazier characters as you go. So that's what I kind of like now. Yeah. Keeping some of them on, but it's like, it kind of makes sense. Like you look at, Lemon and Tangerine, and you're like, well, these guys don't look like they're going to be dead right away anytime soon. Like they're going to probably last a good chunk of the film. And then, yeah, I think, killing one of them off was the right call, because now there's stuff at stake. You got to kill off important characters when it comes to a movie, because it's like, well, at least in an action movie, it provides more of a threat than, it's like, oh, well, is the main character going to make it? Oh, is this guy going to make it? Whatever. So it keeps you interested that way. Now, if you're killing everybody off one by one, I think you lose the interest, like The Walking Dead. You're just like, okay, damn, like you just killed 18 main characters.
Yeah.
Like we're over this. But if it's like one or two and you sprinkle them in at certain points, then you're like, whoa, all right, well, this could lead to a really tragic end. So I respect that and appreciate that as a filmmaker myself.
Yeah, I think everybody was very distinct, and it would have been really bad if like they didn't kill anybody off. Like he knocked out the Hornet instead of killing her, things like that. But I'm glad they killed them all off. But it does seem like a boss fight, every like 15-20 minutes, which is great, and that's and the important thing is like how well they were able to tell each other's story, without being too cluttered in the movie. So that's what I thought they did really well. Bad Bunny, flashbacks and stuff like that, the Hornet, same thing. And when you do the final twist at the end, it all, really meshes together really well. They show clips of their past and like, okay, that makes sense, action scene, I thought they did really well. They didn't do too many. They didn't do the Bourne Identity where they just did a whole bunch of cuts and shaky cam and stuff like that. The fight scenes were very clear and distinct. You could see, them fighting. You knew what was going on. Characters development was great. I think each one of them kind of, Tangerine and Lemon, they grew, and Brad Pitt's character, Ladybug, he grew. But that's just an overall thing to where I think there's the director, the filming, the editing, and the story really just came together really well, and that's why I think Bullet Train was a magnificent film.
Man, that's good. Like there's like I don't work on that side of I talk to a lot of actors and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to learn like how directors and writers like see things on the production side. So it's good to get that kind of outlook, or that kind of like aspect from you guys too. That way, like anyone who's listening to this can learn to watch movies differently. Because I was going to say, like when I watch movies with Chin, from when he was back in Michigan still, or when I was still there, Chin would always point out like, Ricky, did you catch this? Like this is bad. And then I would enjoy the movie, and like Chin would tell me something that I did not catch. I think we watched
just
like,
a glass shattering, just a glass shattering.
like we watched what was it, The Dark Knight Rises, and Chin's like, you see all the people in the background, like look what they're doing, and I did not see anything like that. And so now when I watch movies, I think of like, well, what would Chin look at when I'm watching movies?
Oh yeah. I think I was telling you like, there's just these dudes with guns, right? But none of them are firing, and they run up and try and like shoot him in the face, and he just like keeps blocking and hitting him. I was like, oh my god, just shoot him. So, and that was like, no one really notices it, but then when you watch it, you go, what is happening? Why are these people with guns coming so close for hand combat? I don't understand.
Right.
Like they're trying to get a headshot and come in as close as possible.
Yeah.
And then he's beating them up. I was like, come on, Jesus.
Right. Oh, yep. I know what you mean.
But yeah, so it's like now when I'm watching movies, I kind of like try to watch it like that, but I still get like very fanboy and just watch it because of the whole like entertainment aspect of it. So I'm trying though. I'm trying to learn more of this stuff.
Yeah,
it's very different.
See,
it's an art form.
Yeah, I always, when it's a bad film, I get completely disengaged, and I'm start thinking about like what I could have done to make the movie better. So if I'm like watching, let's say, Flash or whatever I'm watching, like all of a sudden I notice a big glaring issue. I'm like, oh, man, now I'm thinking about how I can fix it, and I'm not even paying attention to the movie anymore. I'm just thinking about what I would have done instead. I'm just like, oh man, dude, I just it's also a blessing and a curse.
Well, I guess we can cut this episode pretty short then, 'cause I think we talked
Yeah.
like there's nothing much to say about Bullet Train, man. Like we've said all the good things, and again, there's not really a lot of bad things in this movie aside from like maybe like Chin said, like maybe just like a little bit of the CGI, but overall the story was written really well. I'm surprised though. Like, do you guys think this could have won at least some awards or anything like that, or was it not at that level?
I don't think so. I think it was maybe scripts, for best original screenplay or best
use of
adapted
effects or
screenplay.
something like that. Yeah.
If they had a best use of prop, then yeah, I think it would have won for sure. That water bottle would have taken gold.
Yeah, that
No, but I
Fiji
think-
water.
Yeah, I think it would have. They should have gotten nominated for adapted screenplay because you said it was from a book, so it had to be adapted screenplay.
But action movies almost never get any sort of. It's rare unless it's like Batman. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even think Batman got nominated last year, right?
No, I don't think so. No, not the Pattinson one.
No.
No, but like I think Dark Knight. Yeah, Dark Knight obviously did.
Dark Knight got yes. Yeah. But it was one of those like, here, people, here you go, have that.
Here you go,
happy.
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
Be happy, people. Well, Heath Ledger, he won that for sure. But like, being nominated as best pictures, like, here you go, people. Now you guys can say that we don't put action movies in there. We won't win, but what we gave it to you guys,
Right, 100%.
Yeah, Ricky, we just got to find a movie that Josh and I are just both torn on, and then we can go for like an hour and a half. Ripping it, trying to prove.
I mean, we did
wrong.
pretty well with The Last of Us. Like, I know you
There
guys
you
had a
go.
lot to say with that one, but
that's true.
I think it's very hard to kind of stretch out a movie that we all enjoy because, like, again, there's very few things we can nitpick at it when it's when we all like it. So I mean, it's good though. It's good to kind of get different perspectives. Like, I'm just again like the movie itself. Like, I'm caught off guard. I was thinking this was going to be like a 30-minute episode. So, but it's good though. It's very very straight to the point, very precise. It's good.
That's right.
Good chunk of like very informational stuff. So but yeah, man. I'm looking forward to having you guys back on the show soon. I don't know when exactly. I'm just glad we got this episode, done after like holding it off for so long. So it's been pretty crazy, man. Because like every time like this episode came up to be recorded next, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this done. And then something else came up, and I was like, all right, I gotta push. I'll push this one, and then like just repeated the same steps over and over. And I was making sure, like, all right, when I'm doing this one because it's funny enough, like when right before we recorded, I got some email responses from some actors too, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not putting them in front of this. I'm getting this one done.
yeah, for sure.
Well, you guys, it's been an honor to talk to you guys again, and it's honestly it's so fun to hear you guys like. Again, your perspectives on movies because I'm not as much as I like to say I'm a movie buff. I'm not.
Sure.
I just like watching movies. So to hear from people who are actually in the industry, who work in the industry and know both the acting side and production side, it's really cool to just kind of learn from you guys.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
Yeah. It's always a great time. Always a great time.
Well, this is pretty much this is episode 169. The links will be in the description to follow Josh, Blueview Cinema and stuff like that. So make sure you guys check that out. Oh, Josh, can you can plug your I hope hopefully this will drop before then, but your horror movie Roulette.
Oh yeah, so we our horror film Roulette. It's our 10th year this year. Can you believe it, Chin? 10 years already.
Dude, it's so much fun. They I think last year you guys went all out. Like the quality just like went through the roof.
That's how I felt. Yeah, it's big, and this year it's going to be a $10,000 prize.
Oh my god! Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
crazy.
gonna the quality is gonna go flying upwards. So
yeah, people are gonna start rolling in, with entries and everything. So I think I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we just announced it last week, and then we're doing a new thing where you can vote for the audience choice genre. So it's going to be a versus between body horror and vampire this year. So you have to vote which one you want for the audience choice. So But yeah, no, it's October 22nd is our goal to have the screening. And yeah, you can go to horrorfilmroulette.com and you can sign up if you want to. Anybody in the world can compete. So
when does it like the kickoff? When does that happen?
Oh yeah, it's September 17th. It's a Sunday, I believe.
Yep, that's a
Sunday. Yep. And yeah, so then you have 30 days to make a horror film based on the genre that you spin.
Oh, 30 now. Wow, that's great. Because
Oh yeah, it used to be 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh,
you get 30 days now. I decided I was like, we're doing 4 weeks now. So
the quality is gonna be so much better. Are you guys doing a small little short that you guys are gonna film and put that in front too?
Yep. So we had a Kickstarter that happened over the last couple months. We raised $4,000 for it, and we're gonna put it together in August.
Nice.
Should be pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyone who's listening, definitely enter this contest as well.
Yeah.
And check out a lot of the up and coming actors and directors and writers and stuff like that. I love seeing stuff like this, like where groups come together. And like, I think I was telling Josh this, the last experience I had with this was the 48-hour film.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
So that was like the last thing I experienced, but I would love to see like how this turns out for the horror film roulette.
And tell you what, Ricky, if any of your fans do enter, if they want to mention Spoiler Force, will take 10% off their entry fee. So
Ooh, nice. So hopefully there's someone who would use that. Watching like that's gonna be like a secret code. Like really, we're gonna use this? Like
we'll just make it Spoiler Force. Make it easy. Spoiler Force. Type it in. You'll get 10% off.
Well, that's cool, man. Thank you for that as well. But yeah, man, this has been fun, dude. I can't wait. Okay, how about this? You guys both recommended me to watch what
Lie.
The Lie. Yep.
The Lie. Okay, so I'll watch that, and then hopefully when I find time to do an episode for that, we will talk about that and like just really go into that.
Well, you gotta find a film that Chin and I, like he said, we gotta both like argue about it because we both like that movie. So we gotta find one that we are both conflicted on. And then Ricky, you can be the deciding vote.
Oh, man, that would be fun too.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can throw in a couple of your ideas, and then we'll figure out who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
I think the Flash. I think we both hate it, so I don't think that we can really use that going forward.
I did not enjoy that. I guess okay. I'll say this now. Initially, I was going to like do a review episode on the Flash. But after watching it, I was just like, no, I can't do it. I can't remember when we did the Doctor Strange one? Like I barely got through that one because like we all of us like in that
we just tore it.
In that podcast we just like were like, no, it wasn't good. Like it just went downhill from there. Like we all agreed on the same thing. It wasn't good. The CGI sucked. Like it was not what we thought it was, and that's exactly how I felt about the Flash. Like there's bits and moments that I liked, but it's just I did not enjoy it.
Yeah. Is it the worst DC movie? No. But was it as great as everyone said it was? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, it had a lot of overhype on it. Like even like people were like a lot of actors and writers were saying, "Hey, this is phenomenal. It's outstanding." And it's like, where is it?
Gunn stamp of approval. Tom Cruise stamp of approval. It's one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. I'm like, oh man, okay, we'll see about that.
Well, okay. Do you guys think that it's also due to like Ezra's issues before?
No, the thing is, they should have just left it. The original title was Flashpoint, and if they just did Flashpoint, it would have made over $1 billion. There's an evil Aquaman, evil Wonder Woman, Shazam with a scar on his face. Thomas Wayne. So Bruce Wayne's dad is the Batman, and then the Bruce Wayne's mom is the Joker in that universe.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you should have just done that. You would have made $1 billion. It doesn't matter if it sucks. We would have all went to go see it. Reverse Flash, all that stuff. It would have been awesome. But
that's what I was pissed about that. How they didn't even tease Reverse Flash. Like if they really want, like I was joking with my friends about, I was like, if they really wanted to, they could have just made Ezra play both since no one likes him anyway. Like, have
I mean,
surprise, he's Reverse Flash.
He did. I mean, to have 2 Ezras was too much.
Mhm.
You should not have done that. That was bad. And then, and then like how Josh was saying, I hate it when there's no boss battle, and there was no boss battle.
Yeah.
He didn't fight the Dark Flash in any way, shape, or form.
He didn't even fight Michael Shannon in the movie.
Right, exactly. He didn't even do that. All he did was just fight a couple dudes, and then that was like, Supergirl, you do your thing, and then Supergirl kept that, and it's like, no, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, he barely did anything. You could see like how bad he, did against those Kryptonians. It just sucked. And I don't know. And that was like, I don't understand. Like the Flash should be fighting, Michael Shannon. It should be fighting General Zod, and they missed that whole point. So that was pretty bad. Oh, so sad.
It sucks because like the Flash is one of my favorite characters, and I was being very optimistic with Ezra's performance. Like even with like how he was in the Snyder Cut, like I was giving him a chance. Like I was like, maybe this is a different take on Barry. It's just no, they don't got Barry right at all.
Well, technically, I think it was supposed to be Wally. I mean, if he was a Wally West, it's fine. That would work out very good. Now, what's weird is, did you know? Okay, so Nicolas Cage is in there as a quick cameo. Do you understand the whole situation with that Superman?
Yeah, he was auditioning, or he was gonna be Superman at one point.
Yeah. So he was gonna be Superman in the next Tim Burton film, and in the movie, he actually was supposed to fight a giant spider, and that's why he was fighting a giant spider in there, because that's what the script was gonna be. Because that's what's like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he's fighting a giant Kryptonian spider, and that was the whole thing. So I got that, but I had to explain all of that to my cousins, and they didn't even see the original Batman, so I had to explain Michael Keaton to them too. It was like, oh yeah, he's the original Batman. I was like Christian Bale. I'm like, no, go back further.
Go back further.
Mm-hmm. So they didn't even know that one, and I get it. Michael Keaton said he was on board, and so they're like, oh, let's change the script to make it work, but just do the Flashpoint. Just do Flashpoint. You would have made $1 billion. Easy.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough for the Flash. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk anymore about it because it just gets me mad. I don't want to give that movie more attention than it should have had. But because the week after they were like buy 2 for 1 type of deal. They were doing all these sales where I'm like,
buy one,
man, they
get
tanked.
1 free. I've never seen that before.
Because now I think it was Yuchin that told me to don't look at opening weekend, but look at the week after when it comes to these big movies, because they're gonna make money regardless opening weekend. It's how they do the weeks after where you see if they stay on board, and they tanked.
Well, so the Flash dropped about 72% the second week, which is one of the lowest drops that in history. Most of the times you lose like 50% or something like that, or if you're between 40 to 50% drop. So if you made 50 million the first weekend, the second weekend if you made 25, that's okay. You're not too bad. But they made like 15 million only, and they're like, oh man, that's a huge drop. So you're definitely not making that money back. That is a huge loss. So just put it on HBO Max so people can just stream it and just be done with it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, we will leave it at that. So again, thank you guys for being on the episode. Make sure you guys follow Josh, and make sure you guys check out the horror film Roulette when it does drop. I will be sharing that as well on social media once Josh makes those announcements and all that stuff. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, this episode should drop before then. So I will probably I'll do my best to keep my eye out on all the news stuff. But so again, episode 169. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Thank you, Chin and Josh, for being on the show. But this has been fun. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.
Thank you, Ricky.
See ya.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.